Welcome once again to another episode of the Random Access Podcast, brought to you by rapodcast.net. This is episode 866, recorded live on March 21st, 2026. And here are your hosts. The man who picked U of M to win the NCAA tournament, Dave Pillay.
Hey, that's me.
And the man who's shocked, I tell you, at that news, Andy Lowe. Hi.
Well, look, I mean, I don't always pick them to win.
No, that's true.
But they are a number one seeded team and to legit have a shot.
You know what's really surprising, though?
What's that?
So I'm in Monahan's bracket pool.
Cool. I missed it somehow this year. I didn't get an invite, or I didn't see the invite.
Monahan just got married in December and also has a baby on the way.
Aw, congrats.
So he did not post a lot about it, mainly probably because he was busy.
Little busy.
Yeah. So, but I don't think he posted until Sunday night or something like that. Yeah, something way short. But anyway,
sure.
So Jeff's bracket is a lot of the Celine U of M group, right?
Right. So I imagine a lot of them have Michigan going all the way.
Picks for the championship.
Uh-huh.
There are, how many brackets are there? Let me see. There are 252 brackets. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling up the stats. Where is it in the stats here? I just had it here. Pick count by game. Yes. Okay. Round 6. Number one team to pick, Arizona with 68.
Uh-oh.
Michigan was second at 57.
Okay.
Duke was third at 55, and Houston was fourth at 18.
I mean, I gotta hope, Andy, that the final match, it almost never works out that this is a possible final match.
Yes.
Is Michigan State.
Yes, that is a possibility this year.
It was also possible to have a Michigan-Ohio State, but then Ohio State just flubbed out.
Yep. I only picked them for one match, so I wasn't overly sad to see them go.
You've Duke over them?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I did pretty good. Although Vanderbilt losing to Nebraska screwed up that part of my bracket.
Oh, I picked the wrong 11 seed to advance to the Sweet 16. Because for some crazy fluke reason, the 11 seed that wins the first, one of the 11 seeds that wins the first 4 play-in games, for some reason, one of those teams always makes it to the Sweet 16.
And you picked the wrong one?
I picked the wrong one. I knew the stat. I was like, okay, let me see which one. And I thought Miami would be the better pick.
Yep.
And nope, turns out I should have gone with Texas.
I mean, apparently for this, other than Duke and TCU, you should just never bet against Texas.
That's
all the Texas teams that were okay, so Houston is still Texas, so there's not much you can do there. All the Texas teams that were supposed to be out in the first round made it through the first round.
Yeah.
So, yeah. A couple of mine are kind of screwed.
What's going to be really interesting, though, is if Iowa beats Florida, it's going to be Iowa against Nebraska, who could possibly face off against Illinois if they beat Houston.
Yep.
What happened to that part of the bracket?
I mean, apparently, don't count out the Big Ten?
Well, unless you're Ohio State.
You're Ohio State.
Or Wisconsin.
Yeah. Or I think USC is out.
Was USC even in?
Nope.
I was going to say, I don't remember seeing them. I didn't pick them, so.
Yep. But I feel I'm doing pretty okay. Where am I in my group? Am I back on number 1? I'm in 3rd place in my group. I'm tied for 3rd in my group.
All right. I'm quickly running through my picks here. I picked Gonzaga, so they're out. So I'm doing straight seeds for people who I'm out of. Let's see, that was Alabama, that was Virginia, Iowa State. Okay. I can still win Monahan's bracket.
Nice. One of my coworkers can't win at this point. There's 10 people in the group, and he cannot win.
That's what I saw somebody actually tracking, because OSU, took out basically 50% of all the brackets at the very beginning.
Yeah. Everyone thought they were going to advance.
Well, it was, if I looked up the ESPNs, it was like 43%. So yeah, over half the brackets get wiped out in the first game.
Yep.
I've got, it's one of those things where it's like
wrong. Yeah.
I look at the map here and I'm just like, I picked the wrong 12 seed.
Same.
And I picked the wrong 11 seeds. And it's just like one of those things where it's like, I knew there was going to be an upset. I just picked the wrong one.
Damn you, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's fine. I have Arkansas winning originally against Wisconsin, and they're up 83-78 a point, so they'll probably still move on.
Yep.
So that part of my bracket's safe. I did not have Texas winning over Gonzaga. That is unfortunate.
Well, in the big bracket pool, I can still get in the top 10.
Does anyone in any of your groups still have a perfect bracket?
Oh, no.
Okay, long gone.
No. What's surprising, though, in the family bracket pool, I do believe, let me pull this up.
No.
Isaac is in the lead.
Okay. Can you please explain how Isaac picked the teams?
I was not here for that. That was Kate was the one.
Just decided to
give
Isaac a bracket and
because he was writing it. He was writing it out by hand. So a lot of his picks were which team had the shorter name.
It's good writing practice.
Well, I mean, when the numbers were close.
Yeah, when the numbers were close, whoever had the shorter name or the shorter abbreviation looks like what he picked.
Nice. So Iowa going pretty far.
No, because he knew 1 seeds were better, so he has Iowa losing to Florida.
Okay. I actually have that, and we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have that as an upset.
Oh, you have Iowa?
I have Iowa over Florida.
Hey, guess what I have?
Florida over Iowa?
No, Iowa over Florida.
Iowa over Florida. Okay, well, either we both win or we both lose.
Yep. Because, I mean, Florida was the weakest number 1 seed out of the bunch, so.
Yeah, but 114-55.
Yeah, I know.
Is, they did score more points than any other single game so far.
Yep.
It's hard to beat 114 points.
Mm-hmm.
What's the highest total points in a college basketball game?
You'll have to, we're talking after the 3-point line?
Sure.
2012.
Troy State defeated DeVry 258-141. They made 135 points in a half.
The highest scoring March Madness game is 264 points.
Well, Troy State almost outshot that in their game. Not the combined, by themselves.
Yep.
That is nuts. But yeah, Loyola versus Michigan, 264 points in 1990. It's a lot of points.
Troy State led Division II by scoring an average of 121 points per game, but they gave up 107 points per game. So, the coach basically just wanted to wear out the other team.
I think there's a Samuel L. Jackson movie about that, or about a coach who was doing something similar. It was a relatively recent movie where Sam L. Jackson is a basketball coach.
I do not know.
By relatively recent, I mean 2005's Coach Carter. And it's high school basketball, not even college.
That's the recent 2 years after we graduated high school.
The recent movie from 20 years ago. Hey, did you realize that there's less time between episode 4 and episode 1 than there is between episode 1 and now?
What? Oh my goodness. That's Jeez. Of course you had to bring that up, so...
Well, you were just making fun of me from the relatively recent 2005, so I figured I'd just point out, because episode 1 came out in like 1999, and episode 4 came out in 77-ish.
Now I'm feeling old.
Yeah. How's your back?
It's not bad.
Cool.
Didn't do a lot of
Lego
heavy
made an
lifting.
announcement.
What did Lego announce?
Lego announced that they were no longer going to partner with FRC.
Oh, so they're not going to do the Lego, the elementary and middle school.
We were just talking about it last week, and you were like, yeah, no one around here is doing the Lego stuff. Like, well, apparently neither is Lego.
Well, now I'm just... Well, I guess I'm not either. I mean, I wonder why? Because they've been together for, what does it say, 1989. So they're going to stop. Oh, they still have one more year together.
Yeah.
This year is going to be the last year together.
Yeah. And I think it's because, like, Lego's trying to go off and do their own thing.
Well, yeah.
Which may or may not be the right choice. And I know that's a really silly way to put it, because, like, of course it might or might not be. That's kind of everything.
So I remember, because they're discontinuing Spike, right? Lego is.
Yes, I believe so. That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, the Lego Spike kit is what is the base for because
they want to move to their smart bricks.
Oh, those smart bricks.
And, like, part of me is worried because the last time Lego stopped paying attention to their core mission, they nearly went bankrupt. Like, bricks for kids, right? This is what Lego does.
Okay, so yeah, the Spike kits are getting retired on June 30th of this year, and the Spike kits were the basis for the Lego League.
Yeah.
And I guess also the app that goes along with them will be, they'll support the app for another 5 years until 2031. And then the app is going away as well.
That doesn't do the kids much good, though.
No. Teams can instead participate with Lego Education, Computer Science, and AI, beginning with the 2026-2027 season. Oh, so this is,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Huh. Yeah, I'm looking at these and I'm like,
I don't know if you just heard that clap. There was a moth.
But yeah, no, those smart bricks. I've watched many videos on the smart bricks, and most people are like, well, this is interesting, but
you're getting away from your core mission.
Well, especially for
kids.
For the cost for buying the things, it's just, oh my gosh.
I just saw some. I was at Barnes & Noble the other day.
Well, somebody in their thought was like, okay, the Lego Star Wars is our best-selling, like brand. License, yeah. So we should put the smart bricks in those. The problem is the smart bricks are really geared towards kids because they're not overly complex. It's just a couple of things you can do with them. But
none of which are, like, particularly interesting either.
No. But, kids and, what was the cheapest smart brick kit? No, that one doesn't have a brick in it. I think it's the TIE Fighter is the one that actually has a brick in it, and that is $89.99.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kids are not going to have $90 to drop on a single TIE Fighter or a single X-Wing, or the Throne Room Duel and A-Wing for $160.
Da-da,
oh, wait, no, wait. The cheapest is the Darth Vader TIE Fighter for $70. There actually is a brick in that one.
Because it knows, like, how close it is to the other bricks, apparently.
Mm-hmm. It's all just NFC stuff. So I watched one where they actually tried to integrate some of the Star Wars things and the smart tags and everything into the Death Slice, and it sort of worked.
Into the what?
The Death Slice. That was the nickname for the Death Star USC kit.
Okay.
Because you're only looking at a single slice of the Death Star. Yeah, the Death Slice. And the guy was like, yeah, no, it's okay. It's not great. It's like, okay, so these smart bricks are kind of very stuck in the kits. Right. So it's not even like something I could take apart and really use in anything else at the moment. So, the other fun thing is the fact that the minifigs that are smart, you cannot take out their legs.
But that's the fun.
I know.
That's the fun part of the minifigs.
Is, swapping them around, getting your own parts together. Yeah. No, you can't do that. The smart minifigs.
They're just a fused solid shape.
Yep.
Lame. Mm-hmm. Super lame.
Yep. So yes, I am curious to see what Lego's going to do. I'm also curious to see what First is going to do now too.
Because they're like, well, shit, we lost our thing.
Yeah.
How much do you think First actually cares about kiddos?
Well, I don't know. Because, it's a good stepping stone. Because going blindly into FRC seems a little crazy. Like, I tried reading the rules and people's, questions about the rules and all that. I'm like, going into that blind seems a little much.
Yeah.
I feel like the Lego levels are a good stepping stone. And in fact, I've seen people talk about how, like, the FRC teams basically volunteer as coaches and mentors for
the Lego leagues.
For the Lego leagues, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, by the way, I've seen Facebook keeps serving me up videos of the FRC teams showing off their builds. Holy crap.
Are you looking at, like, the actual FRC teams or all the college groups that are
numbered FRC teams?
Okay.
Who made robots that, like, in autonomous mode, go out and collect like 50 of the balls and then launch them all perfectly accurately into the receptacle.
Yep, the hopper.
Yeah, but just like moving quickly, grabbing everything, launching it all as quickly as they can, and then doing it like 2 or 3 times in the autonomous period.
I just watched the games for the end to see how many of the teams try and actually climb the ladder at the end. Mm-hmm. So far, I have only seen a couple. Most of the teams didn't even...
Have you seen the one that climbs all the way up?
No, not yet.
So they have a bar that, like, it goes up and latches over it, and then the robot lifts itself off the ground.
Yep.
And then it rotates, and then does it again. Or, like, it goes up a level, and then it rotates, and by rotating, it lifts itself... Like, because it's not on center. So if you think of the bar that is using to grab the rung, it reaches the rung and it pulls itself up. But the attachment point is not the very front of the bot, nor is it the center of the bot. It's between the front and the center. And so then it rotates around that point so that it's hanging upside down.
Oh, so it pulled the Penn State move.
I guess.
The Penn State robotics team, full of FRC alumni, were the guys who they basically do a crash build in 72 hours.
They have like a 1 day or a 3-day build time?
Yes, they have a 3-day build time. There's actually there's a league going around of all these college teams doing 3-day build times, and then they go and compete. So it's like FRC on steroids. But all these college teams take their designs and post them up on various websites for the high school kids.
The high school teams could take them and use them.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah. So yeah, Penn State was the first one who figured out that whole rotation bit. And
I love it.
Their video, when they explained it, they're like, you need to do the math on this. You really need to do the math on this. You also need to make sure that your test structure is built correctly, because your robot weighs a lot.
Yeah, you will tear your robot apart.
Yes. Or if it falls, do not try and catch your robot.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, those things are heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, Penn State was the first one to figure out that whole rotation thing, and then bunch of other teams just took it and ran with it. There's actually a thing going on this weekend up at Grand Valley. All right. Yep, there is the RI3D thing there up this weekend up in Grand Valley.
The 3D being 3 days?
Yes. So yeah, Grand Valley was holding something this weekend about that, so I've been curious to see how that all turned out, but we shall see. Trying to think of how to spin off of this one. I could go to AI because we were talking about autonomous.
Sure.
So are
you going to bring up NVIDIA's cluster?
Yes.
NVIDIA announced something called DLSS 5. Now, DLSS has existed for a while. It is NVIDIA's mechanism for upscaling games. DLSS 5 uses AI upscaling technology.
Which, according to them, is like built into the... it actually says that it takes motion vectors for each frame as input. So it's supposedly supposed to be very in tune with the game. But then after all this came out, because everybody was upset about it... some of the NVIDIA devs were asked about it, and they had talked about, oh, no, it's basically just taking the 2D image that it sees and using that as its basis for figuring out everything.
Although they also said later that, like, no, you can customize it and give it extra instructions. But NVIDIA, why? Like, look at this picture, Andy. That does not make the game feel more realistic.
No, it doesn't. It changed the face, but it did not really...
NVIDIA, why?
Yeah, I like how all the game developers were like, okay, so you're going to take all my hard work and then put an AI filter over it. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And it's like, to me, it feels almost worse because like the game developers and artists can no longer control their own game. And the experiences might be different. Like, it's an AI. So is what I see when I play going to be the same as what you see?
The answer is going to be no, because the AI is not going to render
my
it the
answer
same.
is I don't know, but I'm guessing no.
NVIDIA has just been too deep in the AI stuff because of their chips.
Well, because they need to sell AI.
Yeah.
They need to put it in as many places as possible.
Yes.
Because the amount of money that they have dropped into this industry is insane. And if they want their stock price to stay at the insane level that it is, they need, like, are you familiar with the South Shore bubble?
No.
Or South Seas, not South Shore. The South Sea bubble.
No, what's the South Sea bubble?
Oh, Andy, just do yourself a favor and right now Google South Sea
holy
bubble.
crap. That is a spike and a drop.
Are you looking at the South Sea bubble?
Yes.
So the South Sea was a scam.
Okay.
It was a scam of like what happens when you just kind of let a company do whatever it wants with its stock, and it caused the company in like 17 something to be valued at more than the like total GDP of the world.
Shares went from £128 in January to over £1,000 by August, and then crashed to £124 by December.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my point is, the guy who was in charge of that had to do a lot of work to artificially inflate the price of the stock. And that kind of feels like NVIDIA's in a very similar position. Where, like, they can't afford to let the stock go down. They will be broke.
Yeah, I'm looking at these other comparisons that they have on their page, and it just, I don't like it.
No, I don't either. I think NVIDIA has gone too far the wrong way. Is there going to be options to turn this off? Like, I hope so.
Well, you just don't have to buy an NVIDIA card.
True. It's not like you can at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate to. I agree with some of these memes that I'm seeing where it just looks like the AI Facebook ads that you see, and you're just like, I don't want to see this anymore. This is
The AI Facebook things that I've been getting the most are the ones where they're like, we're gonna dig a pool in time lapse and do cool stuff with it, and I'm like, that's not how digging works. That's not how any of this works. What do you do? No, do not like.
Oh, man, I kind of feel bad for this old witch in the Hogwarts Legacy one because she just looks like she aged about 40 years. Oof. Nope, don't like it.
Nope.
Well, other video game news. The PEGI which is the European version of the ESRB. They're called the Pan-European Games Information.
PEGI.
Yep, PEGI has decided
16.
to change how their age rating system works. So, games that contain paid random items, such as card packs, gacha systems, or keys to unlock random items, will now be rated PEGI 16. Social casino games will be rated PEGI 18. No matter what, it's a minimum PEGI 16.
Yeah. Just immediately.
Yes.
Paid random items.
PEGI 16.
Gacha systems or keys on the PEGI 16. All right. I don't disagree with them.
In-game purchases, games that offer like battle passes or countdown timers will be rated PEGI 12. But if there are in-game controls that are included that turn off spending by default, then you can get a PEGI 7. And any games with purchases linked to NFTs that are required to play and that can be traded in-game will be rated PEGI 18. Any games that offer daily quests or login streaks will be rated PEGI 7.
As a minimum.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in rare cases where the game offers completely unrestricted communication functionality without any reporting system or community standards will be rated PEGI 18. So
so to be clear, like they can rate it whatever they want. Even it's the same thing that we have here with the ESRB, where like it's more of a guideline.
Yes.
Right? It's not you can't sell this to someone under that.
Yes. Now, when I was at Best Buy, there was a pop-up for the M-rated games in the POS. There's a pop-up that would say, hey, is this okay to sell? So
you could still sell it.
Yes, I could still sell it. There was never any sort of
blocker.
Yes. So yes, it was always funny when that popped up. You're like, I think it like asked for an ID or something like that, or check ID or something.
What?
Yeah.
You're like, no.
Well, I always went, hey, do you have an ID? And they said yes. And I'm like, good, yes.
I checked their ID. I checked that their ID exists.
Yes.
Did you check what the ID says? No, I just checked the ID.
That's all the sign said. That's all the box said.
The box told me to check the ID. I said, do you have an ID? They said yes. Any other AI stuff?
Well, I don't know, but so PEGI changed their stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, somebody asked the ESRB.
Oh, God.
if they were going to change as well.
The current ESRB?
Yes.
Who is on the ESRB? Like, who gets to make that call?
I don't actually know.
The Entertainment Software Ratings Board, self-regulatory organization, video games in the US and Canada, established by the ESA because of Mortal Kombat, Night Trap, and Doom, of course. Apparently located in New York. The current CEO is Patricia Vance, who has been the CEO since November 2002. Well, then.
It doesn't say anything about...
It's a fully self-regulated business. It is, I mean, it is kind of explicitly and intentionally not part of the government.
Yes.
It was, in fact, created to prevent the government from regulating the industry. Or not prevent, but to make it more likely that the government would not try to regulate the industry.
But no, there's nothing on who is,
Like who makes the decisions?
Yeah.
Apparently Patricia.
Who, there was, what movie was that I watched? This film is not yet rated, from 2006. It was a film that, basically was a documentary about the MPAA.
Yeah, the Motion Pictures of America Association, yes. MPAA.
Yes.
So you're asking, is there a movie about the ESRB?
No, but the fact that they were discussing the MPAA, and so they wanted to know who was actually on the board, who was actually making the decisions on this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And because publicly there was only one name. It was Joan Graves, who was the head of the board, and she was the head of the board. She was the only official name out there, and so they actually tried to find out, and the MPAA was trying to keep this so under wraps that they were basically like had everybody like in the basement of the building get into a van with tinted windows so that these filmmakers could not see who was on the board. But if I remember correctly, they hired a private investigator to basically just sit out and watch the building while they weren't there. And, you know, because they knew the scrutiny was going on with this film specifically, but they didn't pay attention to anything else. And so, yeah, the whole board had, you know, was discovered out for this. But it was a fascinating thing there, especially, you know, comparing things that were rated R versus other things that were actually rated NC-17, but it was, you know, similar sort of things.
Mm-hmm. How did we get onto this?
ESRB.
Peggy 16, right? ESRB. Someone asked the ESRB.
Yes, and they said that they were
something similar.
They said that they were not going to change as it could be confusing for users.
Okay, I mean, I can kind of understand it. Their comment is that like all of the factors are the content and context of the game.
Yes. The PEGI changes are a lot more, I would say, nuanced. It's like,
okay, but hang on. If I make a game like targeting kids, right? Real like silly whatever E plus, E10 plus, rated E, whatever it is. But there's a loot box in it. And the ESRB is like, okay, so that means that it's now T for teen. Like, no one's gonna make the mistake of buying it thinking, oh man, like I can't wait to play this teen game.
Yeah.
Like if you're using the ESRB as your mechanism for figuring out which games to buy for your age group, you should really think of it as like the minimum age. Well, not the target age.
Yes, but also the ESRB on the tags specifically list when there is online communications and real money purchases.
This is true. And so maybe it's as simple as putting on like an asterisk or a symbol representing, hey, this has loot boxes.
So it, like I said, it's in there. It's not as as strict as PEGI, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell when, you know, especially with Isaac playing Roblox games. It's like, okay, so that's a game inside a game.
Yeah, well, Roblox is a whole other ball of wax.
Yeah.
Where's that expression from?
A whole nother ball of wax?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did not make that up.
Well, I know. I've heard of that before.
Yeah, that's a whole other ball of wax. Origin. Likely evolved from the whole ball of wax, meaning everything, which may have originated as a 19th century humorous modification of the whole bailiwick. Interesting.
Or I could say a different kettle of fish.
A different ball game. Whole other ball game.
I mean, who has a whole kettle of fish anymore?
Is kettle in this term like a unit of measurement versus a container? Or is it literally a container of fish?
The phrase originates from 18th century Scotland, referring to a picnic where salmon was boiled in a kettle.
Okay. It was literally a kettle of fish.
Now I'm just picturing somebody looking at like a tea kettle and holding like a fish in one hand and a tea kettle in the other, and then just like trying to put the whole fish in the kettle. And yeah.
Yep. Damn it, Vanderbilt.
We could talk more about AI chips and everything.
Yeah,
because
that's a topic I love talking about. AI chips.
Well, the U.S. government has charged 3 people at Supermicro, including the co-founder of it, because they smuggled roughly $2.5 billion worth of NVIDIA chips to China.
Ooh. You're not supposed to do that.
No.
You're really not supposed to do that.
Yeah, there were 3 people listed in the indictment. One is the co-founder of Supermicro. The other is a sales manager for Supermicro in Taiwan. And the third is a third-party broker and fixer who has worked with the other 2 at Supermicro previously.
Ooh.
So yeah, Sun Micro would get NVIDIA-powered servers and then ship them to Southeast Asia. And using the third-party company, send them to China, which included at one point they had a whole bunch of empty server boxes in Southeast Asia that they were actually storing in a warehouse and using a hairdryer to move the serial number between real hardware and thousands of dummy servers.
So that the real hardware looked like a dummy server.
Well, no. The serial number on the real hardware gets pulled off, gets stuck on a dummy server, and then the real hard serial, and then gets smuggled into China.
Shipped.
Yeah.
Because you can't track it without the serial number.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, that's a lot of money.
$2.5 billion, which now, because of our wonderful, ever-shifting export policy, some of the smuggled servers might actually now be approved as exportable to China.
If you had just waited.
Yes.
Well, shit.
And part of me was like, Supermicro. I'm like, I swear, I actually owned Supermicro servers at work. I think we used them as the motherboards in our automation system, if I remember correctly. I think those were Supermicro boards. So,
to be clear, this wasn't the entire company, right?
No.
This was 3 people at the company.
Yes, 3 people at the company, but the shares of Supermicro have dropped 12%.
Oof.
Since this was announced.
Oof.
So.
Ouch.
Yep.
Because, like, if that was happening, what else is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Why is an April Fool's joke real when it hasn't even been April Fool's yet?
No, this was April Fool's last year.
Okay.
April Fool's last year, BMW mucked around with PowerPoint and Photoshop and everything and said that they were making a station wagon version of one of their race cars. Entirely April Fool's joke, right?
Sure.
They announced on April 1st that the new BMW race car was going to be this station wagon.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the BMW fans were like, okay, that's funny, but do it for real now.
Do it.
Yeah. They were just like, yeah, do it.
Now
go ahead and do it.
So BMW took a team of engineers.
Yes.
Threw them in a closet and said, figure it out.
Yeah, make a station wagon version of its GT3 race car. And it will actually make its racing debut next week.
Do they expect it to actually do well? Or is it just a, like, joke?
Well, they have to be very specific about what type of racing groups that they can put it in. Because a lot of the racing regulations require that the starting base car actually be a 2-door coupe, not a station wagon. So they actually had to find the right racing league for it.
What they should do is go to all the other, like, go to Ford, go to Toyota, go to anyone else who had a station wagon and say, we made one. Here's its stats. Here's what it can do. We are going to spend the next year making it better. And then we want to race you guys and just do a, like, pure new league for station wagon based cars. Call it the F5 racing. Because there is, like, F2, F3 racing.
Yes.
So this is just like F5.
Well, what's really funny is this isn't the first time. Volvo back in the 90s in the British Racing League. Mm-hmm. Because their Volvos, you could...
Similar?
Yeah, the Volvo station wagons, you could actually buy them with a turbocharged engine and manual transmission. So one of the racing groups decided to take a Volvo 850 station wagon, a nice big boxy station wagon, and enter it into the British Touring Car Champion. And it didn't do great, but it didn't do bad. And of course, that was a massive PR success for Volvo right off the bat. So
right. The company literally known for making safe, like, robust, dependable cars. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it is safe, dependable, robust, but also is fast.
Yes. But yes, no, BMW last year joked about making a station wagon sports car, and all the fans were like, okay, yeah, actually do it.
And they did.
And they did. I love that they just posted on the side of the car just the random quotes that people posted.
Please make this be real. Yeah. We need this. If this is a joke, I'm going to lose it. Please let this be real. Well, it's real now.
Yep.
I've seen cars that were converted from one kind of car to another kind of car, specifically to like racing cars. And damn, like you rip everything out of the car.
There's actually a German group called Black Smoke Racing.
Mm-hmm.
They drive an old Mercedes-Benz diesel station wagon. Diesel station wagon. They race that. And it's just like you look inside and you're like, yes, technically this is a Mercedes-Benz diesel station wagon.
It's the frame of a Mercedes-Benz diesel station wagon. Why? Don't advertise that it's like Black Smoke Diesel. Come on. Do not like.
All right. Anything on here catching your...
Well, I wanted to talk about the April Fools. We got that.
Yes.
Something about side loading on Android?
Yes. So remember how we had talked about it back where Google was going to have a dev validation?
Yeah. That you weren't going to be able to load things that hadn't been validated.
Well, there is going to be a different way of side loading.
Okay.
So you know how normally you would be able to go into the menu on your Android phone and then tap the thing a couple of times, turn on the dev mode, and then you could toggle it. Yep.
Is that just going to still work? Is that how you're going to side load apps?
Well, yes. You enable the developer options by tapping the software build number about 7 times
or something like that.
And then you go to settings and systems and you open the developer options and then scroll down to allow unverified packages. You flip the toggle and tap to confirm that you are not being coerced. I guess there's a pop-up that says,
Is someone
else asking you for this?
Confirm you aren't being coached.
Yes.
That's cute.
And then
if I say yes, someone is guiding me, what does it say?
It probably will just block it. Well, I mean, even with you do it, there is a 24-hour security delay.
Huh. It's not great, but it's better than not being able to do it at all.
Yes. So yeah, you enable it, you unlock your device, you restart your phone, and then you wait 24 hours. And then when you...
one day wait.
Yes. And you can either select at that point, allow temporarily for 7 days or allow indefinitely. And then at that point, you can then install sideloading APKs at that point.
If you say, yes, someone is guiding me, that it takes you to a page about like, here's how to recognize scams.
Hopefully.
It takes you into a separate decision tree for like, don't tell this to the person that is guiding you something. Has this person done one of these things? Ask the person if they know a good recipe for biscuits. And can they please very much, it will help you do what you want them to do if they tell you a biscuit recipe. Okay, real quick.
Yes.
Because I've seen some videos about this. Companies are starting to use AI for things like phones.
Yes, I had to deal with that last week.
Right. What's your stance on that? Because mine is, it's fine if they disclose it.
I was forced to use the AI on the phone call.
Yeah.
I literally could not. If I said no, it literally hung up on me. It said, sorry, you cannot use the phone then. You must go through the website.
Okay.
And part of me is like,
which is also an AI.
I'm guessing, yes, the chatbot on the website is probably also an AI. So, right. So I was forced to use it. And every time I have to use it, it takes longer for me to get what I need to get done.
Yeah. Because
I have to talk to a agent and get the RMA and get all the shipping done and everything else by a person because... Oh, you need to ship it to the state of Michigan? Which address? Oh, it's not part of the whole. We'll have to send you an agent. I'm like, yes, I know. That's what I'm trying to do in the first point.
Yeah, like that's why I asked.
So it does not make my life any easier whatsoever.
Yeah, but it's not there for you and your life, Andy.
What is it there for then? If it's not supposed to make my job easier calling the company, then what is its purpose?
To make their job easier so that they don't have to have as many people answering the phone. You seem to think that They put it in there for your benefit.
I know. What was I reading about? I was scrolling through Reddit about some news article, and one of the questions was, are we ever going to have a company that actually makes something better for the end user? Because I feel like everything right now is always only better for the company.
Andy.
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah.
How many times do I need to bring it up? Go look at the ruling of Dodge v. Ford from 1919, Dodge v. Ford Motor Company.
From 1919? You have not ever brought this up to me.
I have 100% brought Dodge v. Ford.
No, you have not.
Absolutely.
I feel like I would remember a Dodge v.
100%
Ford.
We've talked about this before. Dodge v. Ford was the Supreme Court case that solidified that businesses have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders.
Okay, you might have brought this up, but you're not specifically citing this
Michigan
source.
Supreme Court, not the U.S. Supreme Court, but still. All public companies have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders. Now, private companies can work on making the product better.
Yes, because they're private.
They're private companies. They can spend the money and try to make the product better. But those are few and far between.
The radio stations that I worked at, that was a family-owned private company. So there was a lot of times where, it wasn't, a lot of the radio groups were publicly traded. I mean, heck, is it Clear Channel just filed for their second bankruptcy? Or was it Cumulus? Somebody just filed for their second Chapter 11 in like 20 years.
Yep.
Who did that? Radio Chapter 11.
I do laugh. If you look at the list of private companies, Aldi is on there. Aldi is generally considered to be like a pretty good company. Is on there.
Yep, Cumulus Media, second Chapter 11, previously undergone Chapter 11 restructuring in November 2017.
Meijer is on the list. Unfortunately, Chick-fil-A is also on this list. I look at this list and I look at this is like the largest private NGOs by revenue, non-government companies by revenue. And like, I know how much revenue we make. I'm not going to say it because I don't think I'm supposed to, but we aren't on this list. And the list is the top 124 and we still aren't on this list.
Jeez.
The smallest one is Pacific Life at $10 billion.
Pacific Life is private?
Pacific Life is private.
Huh.
Actually, a lot of insurance companies apparently are, judging by this list. State Farm, Northwestern Mutual, Nippon Life Insurance, Japan's life insurance, New York Life Insurance Company, Liberty Mutual. Tons of life insurance, tons of insurance companies. Apparently, insurance is a good business to be in. Okay, anything else you wanted to talk about?
Brendan Carr has officially approved the Nexstar and Tenga merger.
Screw him.
The surprising thing, though, is the fact that there is a limit put in by Congress that says you can only own 39% of coverage in the United States.
Yeah.
And with this merger, the new company will be at 54.5%.
So what's going to happen?
Well, that's an excellent question because there are a lot of people going, but that's literally against the law. You're not.
You can't do that.
Yeah, but you
can't do that.
The FCC supposedly offered a waiver, and I was trying to dig into the actual Telecommunications Act to try and figure this out.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yes. Oh boy.
How'd that go?
It's like it's the ship of was the ship of Theseus.
I mean, that is a thing. I don't know if it's the thing that you are looking for.
Where it's rules on top of rules on top of rules and amendments and other acts added to.
I don't think that's quite the ship of Theseus.
House of Cards?
Ship of Theseus is you've replaced every board. Is it still the same ship?
Oh. Lots of bureaucratic nightmare.
Bureaucracy is fine. It can be bureaucracy without being a ship of Theseus.
So there are a lot of state attorney generals suing to blocked this merger because they said the merger cannot go through in its current form.
I mean, literally, it would be illegal for it to go through
Yes.
in its current form. Don't think that's going to stop anyone, but when's the last time something being illegal stopped someone in government from doing it?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's the only one I really wanted to hit because that was just completely ridiculous.
All right.
So should we hit the randoms?
Yeah.
Okay. It is your random review.
My review. I have a Snapmaker U1 printer. I've enjoyed my Snapmaker U1 printer. As part of multicolor printing, there is a piece of kind of procedure called the purge tower. Purge tower is this little extra piece of print that the printer makes when it changes filaments to purge the filament that's like been sitting there, and it might be cool, it might be warm, so like it heats up and it just spits out a little bit so that it can keep going. This is different than the poops from some printers when they are changing color, where they have to like purge the line of the old color. This is just like cleaning off the tip by printing a little bit onto a thing that doesn't really matter. But if you look at the purge tower, when you have, say, a print that is like predominantly blue and red, some of the purge tower is purple. And it's purple because if you look really, really close at it, it's actually blue and red.
So we're talking like dots of a computer monitor.
Yeah, kind of like pixels or like pointillism, right? Like your eye will interpret colors that aren't there because it's other colors that are mixing together. And not mixing, but like are next to each other.
Yes.
Like your computer screen. There's
Yes.
a lot of red, green, and blue that are really close together. So someone decided, well, what if we did this intentionally? What if I had, say, a cyan, magenta, and yellow filament on this printer? And to be clear, this is something that could have happened at any point up to this, but until tool changer printers came out, it would have been just an inordinate amount of waste because you'd have to keep changing the filament. They said, what if we printed and set up the slicer so that it would automatically handle this sort of thing, and we could come up with virtual filaments to use in the slicer that don't really exist, but that when it slices the model and when it creates the model and sends those instructions to the printer, it automatically figures out which colors to use and how much of which color, and alternating those colors to make that new color. And so someone looked at this and said, I can do that. And they made something called full spectrum printing. Now, it is predominantly for the Snapmaker U1 because, again, it has the tool head changes so that it doesn't need to purge for every time it does a color change. But it lets you create, quote unquote, new filaments and new colors. And so people have been printing prints that are like 16 or 32 color prints off of a 4-color printer.
So they're taking the old 4-color inks from...
There's a reason why your printer, your inkjet printer had cyan, magenta, yellow, and black.
Yep. Oh, Dave, I got a graphic design minor, so...
Yep. Now, it does make me wish that the U1 actually was a 5-color printer, because with CMYK, you have a small problem when it comes time to print white.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Which is to say you don't. White is just, well, the paper is white, so we don't put anything there.
Yep.
But
you can't.
If I don't put anything there, it's air.
You just have a hole.
There's a hole. So I'd love to have CMYKW, but I can't. My printer does not support that. I only get 4 colors. But it's really cool. It's super easy to use. The thing that I'm reviewing is the actual fork of Snapmaker Orca that they made that they've called Snapmaker Orca Full Spectrum. And it's really smart. It's really clever how they did it, how they've managed to keep it going. And they've done so many improvements over just like the last 2 weeks. This thing is not that old. The alpha build was like February 9th. That was a month ago, and they just keep making it better. And I'm really, really excited about it because it means you can do some really cool prints.
I have designed a couple of things to be 3D printed. I mean, I've got actually my thermos cup holder sitting actually right next to me here. But man, there is a lot. I'm going through your GitHub repository here.
Well, not mine, but yes.
Well, yes, the one that you have linked.
Yeah.
And there is a lot more to this than I ever realized.
Oh, yeah. You mean to like 3D printing or what?
Yes. No, there's a lot more to 3D printing, looking at densities and looking at some of these modes here, and it's just...
Oh, absolutely. And the discussion around this right now is actually centered in the like, hey, there's a lot of like chemistry that needs to be taken into account because like some filaments bleed color into the surrounding filaments when they're melted together. So like that makes a big difference. And you might need to adjust the ratios based on that, or like some filaments are semi-transparent. And so the color that you put behind them can make a difference.
I just realized, holding my thermos up to my screen, I just realized there's a grid pattern in here inside the base.
Oh, because it's semi-transparent?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're seeing is the infill.
Yes.
And it's probably just a simple...
square grid.
Might not be a square grid. It might be a cubic.
Oh, I don't know.
Cubic is stacked cubes on their corners. Here, hang on. Infill samples images. Infill patterns. Yay. They make pretty cool coasters. Send to Andy. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of infill. You may have the rectilinear one, which is just the like most basic.
Yes, this looks very basic.
Yeah.
Which, that one I sent him on a Tuesday and I got it back Thursday. And then I realized I needed to change a couple of things. And so I sent it on Thursday.
Power of 3D printing.
And it's been like 2 weeks.
Oh, and you haven't gotten it yet?
No.
Oh, no.
I might just go to the library again and be like, hey.
Did you guys ever do this? They're like, oh, that was a duplicate. We didn't know you wanted it.
Well, it basically all just depends on, I'm working on somebody else's time, so just make sure I didn't miss any. Yeah, submitted on March 10th, and it's the 22nd.
Yeah.
So wait until the 24th.
I could have printed it by now.
What?
I could have printed it by now for you.
Probably.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to print a thing. Someone sent me a thing to print, so I need to go get it and print it.
Well, I've got this one, and then I'm also probably going to print another cup holder for my giant 2-liter water bottle as well. So we'll see how this one goes. I realized now after I had submitted it, my cup holder, the new one, kind of just looks like a Lego hand.
Cute.
Yeah. All right, so if you have a
Snapmaker U1.
Snapmaker U1 and want to try and print.
You should go get one. You should go get one. They're really good.
$850.
They're really good.
Yeah, it's also $850.
True.
It'd be a very expensive cup holder.
Only the first time?
Yes, but I hopefully won't need more than one of them.
Yeah.
All right, random topic. Rolled ahead of time. Who sucks more, a Hoover Vacuum or Donald Trump?
I mean, by physical, movement of air, the vacuum. By which would I rather not have in society? Donald Trump.
I have not once thought, oh man, really? That vacuum did what now?
Right.
Man, looking at the vacuums now, everybody has the same bagless setup. Are just vacuum bags not a thing anymore?
Not if you can avoid them. People don't want that. Wasteful.
Having a bag to catch all your stuff. Yeah, no, all of these are bagless. And all of them have that same cyclone type thing.
Yep.
When did that happen?
Over the last 30 years.
Shows how often I have bought a vacuum cleaner.
Yes. In any case, I think that's everything. Yeah?
Yeah, that's everything. So that's a wrap. This has been another episode of the Random Access Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, remarks, reviews, rebukes, retorts, or just rants, feel free to contact us. You can find us on Twitter at RAPodcast, or send us an email at mail@rapodcast.net. Thank you for listening.